Hello everyone, I all hope you had a very wonderful, great morning and a very great day and a very great morning indeed, guys. As you can see, guys, today the weather is still the same as it was before, as it was, meaning yesterday as well. Despite that, guys, I'm superly grateful for your support in watching and in viewing my episodes from TikTok and from Shorts and from long videos from YouTube and from TikTok as well. It gratefully means a lot to me, completely means a lot to me. And those of you who are also subscribing as well. May you have a blessed day and a great week as well. And may you take care, excuse me, and may you take care of yourself and be very happy and be very positive and enjoy your week and the rest of your day. And may God bless you and protect you all and help you whatever it is that you're actually pursuing and also trying to do as well. And may you stay positive and stay true to yourself and have a wonderful week and a great, blessed week. Despite that, guys, I'm truly superly grateful. Have a blessed week and a great day. Truly marvelously grateful for you, for those of you subscribing, viewing, and watching my episodes from Shorts, long videos, and from TikTok means a lot. From those of you who are also coming, viewing, and also subscribing, completely means a lot. Have a blessed day and a great week. May God bless you and may God protect you. On this episode, we're to speak about the Ice Sisters, who are a very formidable group of powerful dark witches who have been known throughout sacred history by conquering thousands of magical worlds, planets, and civilizations across the sacred magic universe in order for them to remain more powerful, and extremely reluctantly immortal than ever before. They're regarded as the greatest forces of evil across sacred history's greatest, most powerful, ancient forces of evil. And the origins and the Ice Sisters origins actually traces back to the directable origin of the sacred Omega founders, who are the most powerful, sufficient, greater sacred monks and ancient godlike beings who also form the ancient secret society, who are able to exactly replicate the DNA, the genetic DNA of the sacred creatures' supernatural DNA in order to help their kind and their species to heavily evolve and adapt to their new supernatural powers and their greater abilities as well, which is how the superhuman and the supernatural races and the alien races and the Four-Nation Hunter races were actually made and created. Despite that, the Ice Sisters lineage is a very powerful greater lineage that resides along with the time witches and with the time witches and with the sun witches and with the dark sisters as well, which means in other words they are the direct descendants of the previous powerful original dark sister witches of the ancestors, and who also been able to adapt and who also gain the power and the ability to adapt their powers and their greater ability in a higher greater standards as well throughout sacred history. They are rumored to be one of the merciless, ruthless group of powerful ice witches, dark sisters, very ancient and very powerful, merciless and completely ambitious, willing to conquer magical worlds and planets and civilizations and other sacred universes in a process for them to remain the sole rulers of the known universe and of the rest of sacred magic history. They are the most dangerous evil forces able to be literally to be unknown and not meant to be underestimated or taken lightly as well. So let's actually proceed on within the great centuries, within the great ancient centuries, when the ice witches were quiet, when the ice sisters, known as the group of powerful dark ice witches or group of powerful dark ice witches, were not exactly mentioned throughout sacred history. They were quietly named and renowned throughout sacred history, as during in those ancient times the ice sisters wreaked enormous amounts of havoc and chaos throughout the sacred magic universe, using their forbidden dark magical powers and techniques in order to conquer many thousands of worlds and civilizations of magics by fighting a war against fairies, witches, warlocks, druid, against fairies, witches, warlocks, and druid, and against fairy witches, and against fairy witches, and against light magic users and Four-Nation Hunters, which created a conflict of interest among the relations of the supernaturals and of the magical creatures as well amongst themselves, which created a friction amongst themselves. The Ice Sisters gratefully benefited by conquering thousands of merciless magical worlds and planets and civilization by putting them under their sole control, which in turns out they began recruiting an army of powerful, formidable dark wearing witches who come from respective worlds and planets of their own, from their respective home worlds and planets of their own, which by doing so, they began exactly crafting powerful sources of dark magic to limit their powers and their abilities in a greater way, to combining ice magic, dark ice magic, and dark ice magic and powers all at will in order to access the forbidden power and the forbidden techniques as well. Along with a quest and a mission, they will quietly receive help from a powerful anonymous associate, a shadowy anonymous associate who helped them with a common goal and interest, realizing that the Ice Sisters' goals and interests could actually help the organization's goals and purpose to aligning with a soul goal, which in turns out it exactly did the exact same thing, and it actually did, as this mysterious anonymous associated remained a top secret shadowy figure who helped the Ice Sisters with a common interest and goal. Over the following ancient centuries and times, the Ice Sisters banded together during the ancient times of the sacred magical dark worlds and planets, where they actually created a powerful crystal world and planet of a civilization of their own, of blue crystal ice civilizations and planets of their own, in order for them to actually harvest those crystals and its power source to fuel their dark magic powers and their abilities, which in turns out they able to gain more power and more dark magical abilities by combining science and magic all in one together, by creating destructive machines that are capable of drilling through other magical worlds and planets within its resources, by literally extracting the planet's resources and its otherworldly resources for them to exactly gain more power and more abilities. They conquered thousands of magical worlds and civilizations across the sacred magic universe, harnessing its powers and its abilities, making sure that fairies, especially for fairies, making sure that fairies become dark, powerful, corrupted, evil fairies, so they can also join them on the respective mission, which they gain 10,000s of mysterious, dark, evil followers of witches and of fairies, joining sides with them, which created a fraction between witches and fairies, between good witches and good fairies, and evil witches and evil dark fairies amongst themselves, in order to exactly fight amongst themselves for their own common interests. Regardless of that, the Ice Sisters exploited the conflict for their own interests in order to further their plans and their common goal as well in the process, in order for them to conquer 10,000 of worlds and planets, during which in that time the original Royal Magic aided the Ice Sisters on their respective goals, as he realized that the Ice Sisters could actually assist him with these common interests of unlocking the forbidden powers of ice dark magic and ice dark magic and ice dark magic and its abilities and powers. The Ice Sisters provided the original World of Magic with great strenuous resources, as they promised that they'll always remain as loyal associate to him, which is exactly what they did. Over the following centuries, the Ice Sisters stopped their rampaging and wreaking havoc across the sacred magic universe and across the other unknown universes, in order to halt the operation and the plan, now that realizing that the Phoenician hunters had become greatly too powerful and very persistent and very persistent and very retaliant, in order to stop them with a common goal, now that they've managed to gain allies along the way. Regardless of that, the Ice Sisters decided to exactly halt the operation and decided to actually fall back and to remain in hiding until the perfect time for them to come out would exactly be made on that predicament timing as well. Over the following years and centuries, the Ice Sisters were never seen or never quietly heard of, as long they can continue to remain in hiding, operating within the shadows of the sacred magic universe and of the sacred world, in order to hide their existence and their operations and their plans, since they are well now known about the mysterious, powerful, dark ambition of conquering 10,000 worlds and planets and civilization, and by placing them under their sole control as well, which in doing so, the liberation of the Phoenician hunters of the other good warlocks and witches and druids and fairies banded together to liberating those worlds and planets, as they realized that they have many 10,000 worlds to liberate from the control of the Ice Sisters that have been mind controlled, and some that are being stranded, or that are some of the things that have been stranded of the resources of their worlds. They began the liberation front, but the Ice Sisters exactly remained very patient and very mysteriously patient and very cautious of their next move and of their next plan. In the shadows of the sacred universe, they supplied the ancient secret society of supervillains known as the Order of the Five with unlimited and powerful dark resources that are exactly needed to further their long-term plans and their common goals of interest, which could also benefit them mercilessly, which they also made an ancient pact. They also made an ancient pact with Lord Shadowjack during the ancient times with him in order to aid him with these respective conquests in conquering 10,000 more worlds and 10,000 more worlds and civilization that'll have to be put under his sole control. In return, Lord Shadowjack would provide the Dark Ice Sisters with forbidden dark powers and dark abilities of forbidden knowledge and dark secrets, which was part of the agreement and part of the deal. And also part of that deal and part of that agreement as well, and that deal and that pact that they made, the Ice Sisters benefited more greater, powerful resources as ever before, and they benefited greater, more secretive bases of operation for them to actually operate in full secrecy within the shadows of the sacred world, and within the shadows of the sacred magic universe, for them to further their plans and their common goal and their common interests as well. On the 26th of February, the Ice Sisters actually, all of them reconvene on an ancient ice mythical dark temple, on a very, very powerful dark temple that was quietly within the other ice worlds and civilization, where they all exactly convene, and they also quietly heard the mysterious news about the death of the original Lord of Magic, which exactly passed on, which exactly spread it like wildfire across the rest of the sacred universe and across the rest of the sacred universe and of the known universe. Regardless of that, they actually reviewed the original Lord of Magic as a master and as a proud, honest leader and a great, godlike figure. Despite him becoming a monster or what he is, he always remained true to his word, and he's true to his word and always standed by his word and true to his honorable word. And they viewed him as a brother-in-law and not just a master and as a lord, as they saw a former reflection of himself, despite him becoming a monster and a powerful, terrifying, immortal villain that ever lived during the most powerful ancient times. They realized that with the original Lord of Magic gone, and now that the new Lord of Magic, known as Lord Jet, is really taking over his operation and the rest of his goal and reassembling his ancient group that quietly existed many centuries ago, they decided to aid and abet Lord Jet with his respective goals and mission in order for them to actually benefit numerously for his goals, since they quietly also view Lord Jet, who is the new Lord of Magic, as a powerful brother-in-law as well, and as a great figure to support him with these respective missions and goals as well, as they all came to terms to agree with that. On the 20th of March, the Ice Sisters exactly all met up with the dark magic users on the next base of operation, which was a powerful mystic laboratory that was quietly hidden within the ancient ruins of an ancient powerful crystal cave, where the dark druids and the dark witches and the dark faithful exactly reassured the Ice Sisters that they were willing to supply them with limited, greater, powerful resources than ever before, as long as they actually agreed that would allow them to becoming the mysterious followers, for them to actually serve them and to becoming their greater servants as well. The Ice Sisters agreed that with the dark druids and the dark witches and the dark faithful's expertise, they will be able to become more powerful and more parallel in their great unique nature and in their great unique ability as well, which could also precisely aid them with their respective missions and in their respective goals in the process as well. On the actual 29th of April, the Ice Sisters exactly all met up in a very, very powerful icy magical college of a crystal magical college of a icy magical crystal college that's quietly within the sacred magic universe, where they all exactly met up with the mysterious dark wizards and dark warlocks who agreed to actually give them more powers and more abilities and more incentive, knowledge, and powers, and agreement, which was exactly part of the deal that they made with them many centuries ago. The mysterious dark warlocks and dark wizards also agreed that they want to become the mysterious associate and also to benefit them and help them with their respective goals and their respective mission. The Ice Sisters quietly felt very grateful to have the assistance of the dark mysterious wizards and warlocks, as they actually reassured them that they will quietly benefit mysteriously from this operation and from their partnership as well. On the 25th of May, One of the Ice Sisters completely teleported to Wishcaster's base of operation, where she met up with Wishcaster on her headquarters where she met up with Wishcaster on her secret base of operation, and she actually told Wishcaster that they haven't exactly forgotten about their partnership and about their associate being together and working together as one powerful group of formidable dark witches who aided each other on their respective conquest. Wishcaster actually told the Ice Sister that she will provide her the necessary tools and the necessary equipment that she needs in order to further her sinister plan and her goal in motion, in order to put it in motion and in order to decisively put it in action. But all she requires is a further assistance and a greater help from your coven and from the rest of her sisters. The Ice Sister agreed that she will exactly lend all the resources on and all the multiple connections he has that are completely under as disposable as part of the deal as well. And Wishcaster felt gratefully reassured, as was the other Ice Sister, who also felt gratefully reassured as well. On the 15th of June, the Ice Sisters exactly were in the central headquarters of a laboratory, in a dark laboratory, experimenting with shadow energy, where they all were only five Ice Sisters set among the blue crystal, where they all exactly meditated through it by converging its blue magical power and energy and infusing themselves with shadow energy in the process, and they only became more powerful and very more sinister than ever before as well. On the 20th of July, the Ice Sisters created a powerful dark holographic shadowy hologram of themselves in order to conceal their identities, where they actually convene on an ancient powerful crystal cave by meeting with other mysterious shadowy holographic figures, of meeting with other mysterious associates who also conceal their identities using a powerful shadowy holographic figure of themselves in order to conceal their identities, and where they all convene. In that actual meeting, they all discussed about their plans and about their sole objectives, understanding that the Shadow Empire warlords are quietly like nothing else but headless chickens that are quietly running around, exactly searching for more power and for more energy, which the other mysterious associates who are also in their shadowy holographic figure agreed that it's time for them to actually not take advantage of the turmoil and the chaos within the Shadow Empire, now that the new Lord of Magic has been quietly named and then he's been quietly actually been reformed. He's more powerful and more dangerous than the original Lord of Magic. The other Ice Sister completely agreed that it's time for them to begin their plans and their goal. One shadowy figure exactly told one Ice Sister that the universal heroes pose a greater threat and that they are an annoying nuisance of heroes that must never be underestimated, especially with their abilities in defeating their former colleagues and their former associates, which the other associates learned from the hard way that these heroes are very powerful and too dangerous not to be underestimated. The Ice Sisters exactly reassured their mysterious associates and their colleagues that they have a plan in mind in order to test that theory, in order to put that theory to the test once and for all. On the 25th of August, the Ice Sisters exactly completely took over the entire school, took over the entire dark magical school of dark formidable witches and dark warlocks and dark witches, where they all exactly overthrew the head mistress of Ice herself, who was a powerful ally of the Four Nation Hunters and still is, and initially overthrew her control over the school, and exactly told the dark warlocks and the dark witches that it's time for them to actually rise to the occasion and ascend to their fullest power and their fullest ability, that together with all their powers and all their abilities combined, they can conquer the entire sacred magic universe and the sacred universe and the known universe in a process, and conquering other universes and magical worlds in a process, for them to becoming the most powerful dark magical beings and creatures, and that it's time for them to actually begin recreating the sacred magic universe in their own directable image. And they all purposely agreed, as they actually cheered for the Ice Sisters. 3 Ice Sisters and 1 Ice Sister stood at the back while the three of them converge all their powers together and manage to actually pick up the entire dark magic school, able to literally pick it up from the ground in order for it to actually fly from the top, in order to signal that the warlocks and the dark magical creatures of the supernatural races of the magical races are now willing to conquer and reclaim what is rightfully theirs as well. And the leader of the Ice Sisters was very determined in order to make sure that this conquest successfully bears fruit as well. On the actual 29th of November, the Dark College of Witches and Warlocks and flew over the other magical schools of the sacred magic universe, where warriors of the Four Nation Hunters and warriors of the Nature Hunters and of the Sacred Hunters were all exactly training with other nature fairies and other nature druids and warlocks, and the entire school exactly flew over, and the Ice Sisters began practicing a dark ritual that literally awakened the ancient legendary monsters who were once the most feared and most dangerous monsters, who were quietly as stone, or rather fictional, who were quietly remain frozen for over a century. And these monsters, known as the Dark Goblins, awakened from their imprisonment and able to reclaim the entire magical school by literally fighting its protectors and its warriors and its magical creatures. The other magical forces and the other powerful hunters were forced to call the universal magic heroes to come, as they realized that they were quietly under attack and literally under attack and overpowered by such powerful dark magical power that they never ever seen before, which the dark magical monsters began attacking and literally taking the warriors and the sacred magical creatures prisoners as well, until the other dark witches and dark warlocks revealed themselves and stated to them that the entire college is rightfully theirs. The universal magic heroes and universal magic girl literally arrived just in the nick of time to save the college. They were able to realize that they were up against the most powerful dark magic force that they never quietly seen, and they literally fought the war against the forces of evil with more help from the Four Nation Hunters and from other alien creatures, from other alien creatures from respective worlds decided to save the entire magic college from being conquered, and from being reclaimed by the dark witches and the dark druids, and from the dark witches and from the dark warlocks and from the dark wizards, who all banded together. Despite this, the heroes exactly remained victorious as the dark magical school of dark warlocks and dark witches began to disappear. Universal Magical began to think that there's a powerful, mysterious force of evil that's highly actively at play in this corner of the sacred magic universe, and that the entire intergalactic coalition needs to put its heads up and to be on a very strict watch alert, because all the forces of evil are beginning to secretly orchestrate and create events and are now beginning to rightfully act up and taking their rightful place, not just because of the power vacuum within the Shadow Empire that's really created a turmoil and a chaos within the Shadow Empire itself as well. On the 29th of December, the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders actually met up with the Ice Sisters on the respective school of the dark witches and of the dark witches and of the dark warlocks and of the dark witches and of the dark warlocks and of the dark wizards as well, where they actually spoke to them that they'll actually agree to supply them with endless power and with more worlds for them to conquer in return. They only asked for them to create dark and destructive technology which could aid them on their respective mission and goal as well. The leader of the Ice Sister completely agreed that she will actually mercilessly create more powerful dark technology ever before, as long as the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders relinquish the worlds that they've managed to conquer and place them under the control of her sisters and of the rest of her people. The Shadow Empire warlords completely agree that they'll also remain mysterious associates to the Ice Sisters and to the powerful dark magical creatures. And the Ice Sisters completely relished, as they were very happy now things are finally going in their way. On the 27th of January, the leader of the Ice Sister secretly exactly met up with one of the Dark Emperor's commanders in a very disturbing dark volcanic universe of a world, where she actually met up with one of his high-ranking officials and exactly told the high-ranking official that all the worlds and all the planets will be placed under the Dark Emperor's control as long as he promises to hold up his end of his bargain. The high-ranking official reassured the leader of the Ice Sisters that is exactly what will happen and it will always remain the same, as she was very quietly reassured of that as well. On the 15th of February, the leader of the Ice Sisters met up with her sisters in a different base of location where they all exactly mysteriously convened in a very mysterious, powerful dark crystal cave. And they all exactly decided that the Dark Emperor will agree to share the secrets of the forbidden knowledge and everything else, as long as it doesn't exactly reach to the ears of the Dark Sisters and of the Time Sisters and of the Time Sisters and of the Time Witches and of the Sun and of the Sun and of the Sun Witches as well. Because if it reaches to their hand, they'll become more powerful and more dangerous than they can actually ever be. And the others completely agreed that they must be careful in order to preserving their status and the full purpose of their mission as well, as they all successfully agreed on that. On the 29th of March, the leader of the Ice Sister and the rest of her Dark Druids and of the Dark Witches and of the Dark Faithful began powering up a powerful dark crystal at the center of a destroyed world and of a planet with a powerful dark magic. After that, four powerful holographic shadows all exactly began to show up on the heart of the core, on the crystal core, where they all exactly began to show up and exactly began to introduce themselves as the Order of the Foretelling, the Ice Sisters, that they've done a very good, marvelous work and a very good, marvelous job and work, and that it's time for them to carry out with the final phase of the actual plan of the operation, that it can finally go in place and into motion. The leader of the Ice Sisters successfully agreed that it is definitely time to actually evolve it as well. On the 20th of April, the Ice Sisters convene with the Dark Sisters on another powerful dark, mysterious crystal temple in Scatcherd that's quietly within the sacred universe, with an unknown, its base of location is quietly unknown, where they actually begin to convene with the Dark Sisters. And the Dark Sisters told the Ice Witches that they've done very well, making sure that the ancient histories of them fighting amongst each other looked very real, in order to make sure that the enemies don't know that they actually well associated amongst themselves as well. And the Dark Sisters agreed that they'll share the knowledge and the expertise and everything else that they managed to gather, and so that the Ice Sisters, and together they'll become more powerful than ever before as well. On the 15th of May, the Ice Sisters exactly began creating powerful symbol of purple dark magic on the meditation, where they all exactly focused their power and energy to seeing what was happening in the entire sacred universe, and knowing that everything else is about to successfully bear fruit as well. On the 29th of June, the Ice Sisters completely exactly tested the new recruits of the Dark Witches and of the Dark Warlocks and of the Dark Wizards, in order to see if they're worthy for their powers and for their abilities, as well as began a powerful convergence of dark magic in the process as well. On the 29th of July, the Ice Sisters actually reconvened with the Dark Druids and with the Dark Witches and with the Dark Faithful, as they actually begin to reassure them that all their reputation, that all their resources and everything else has been assigned and has been made. And One Shadow Empire will begin to exactly reassure the Ice Sisters that they have his full allegiances and loyalty as well. And the Ice Sisters seem very happy now that it's time for them to put their plan into motion, and to never underestimate the Universal Magic Hero, especially Universal Magic Girl, who poses a greater major threat to the great long-term goal and plan as well. Despite this, guys, the Ice Sisters are very ancient and a very powerful group of formidable witches, who are very, very ruthless, cruel, and very ambitious and very determined witches, who have lived for centuries and during the ancient times of the sacred universe and of the sacred world, willing they have conquered 10,000 more worlds and more planets and placed them under their sole control as well, which makes them extremely dangerous and very, very powerful. According to the 4nation database, the Ice Sisters are very mysterious and a very ancient and a very, very powerful dark magic users of witches, very reluctant and very persistent, and they are willing to further their plans and their long-term goals. They are extremely intelligent witches and a very powerful immortal witches as well. Due to this rate, they can easily wait for another centuries and another years to carry out their mortal plans and the other goals and the sole objectives of conquering many more worlds and many more civilization. In doing so as well, they managed to form powerful, secretive, ancient alliances with other groups of powerful ancient of supervillains, such as the Order of the Five, the Founders, the Order of Power, the Dark Emperor, Lord Shadowjack, willing to actually aid the other powerful lords and masters on their respective goals and their respective missions as well, which could also benefit them. And by utilizing the cosmic dark resources for their own goals and for their own plans in the process, they even formed a powerful secretive alliance with Witchcaster to aid her on her respective missions and goals as well in the process, as long as they also benefit. They also formed a powerful dark alliance with the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders and got them to actually show allegiances and loyalty to them and only to them only. And the Shadow Empire warlords have agreed to remain as secretive associates of the Ice Sisters and to remain also secretive associates of the Ice Sisters as well. Despite this, the Ice Sisters are an ancient group of powerful coven witches who all exactly work together, but some of them don't actually work together with the rest of their sisters, as they all have their different goals and their different objectives and their mission of their own. Some of them manage to defect from the coven while the others remain within a coven, and the Ice Sisters are completely led by the greatest and most brightest and most intelligent leader of their kind, which is the leader of the Ice Sister, the most powerful and most dangerous of them all. They managed to gather mysterious dark followers of magic users such as the Dark Druids, Dark Witches, Dark Faithful by their side, and other powerful Dark Witches, and other powerful mysterious Dark Witches, and other powerful mysterious Dark Witches, and Dark Warlocks and Dark Wizards, in order to and also to becoming the mysterious followers as well in the process. By doing so, they combine all the resources and all the knowledge together and working together as well in order to form their own perfect alliance with the most powerful, dangerous super villains that ever existed, because they all actually see that they all understand that they all have a common interest and a common goal, which they're willing to join forces together. Regardless of that, the Ice Sisters are completely merciless witches who don't care nothing about who don't actually care about humanity or the rest of mankind, and are willing to conquer the entire sacred universe and the rest of the sacred magic universe and the rest of the sacred universe and the rest of the sacred magical dimension and of the sacred universes and all the other ancient universes across the known universe as well in the process, to make sure that they remain powerful. They managed to conquer an entire dark college of dark witches and dark warlocks and dark druids, and placed it under their sole control, using it as another base of operation. The Ice Sisters learned the hard way that Universal Magic Girl is a powerful obstacle and a very powerful threat, and the Universal Magic Heroes and the Universal Heroes are a very dangerous obstacle, threat, or forces of greater good, that their abilities can thwart their operation and their long-term plans, as they've learned the hard way since they quietly learned from the other mysterious associates that have quietly warned them that the Universal Heroes and their abilities in thwarting their operation and their long-term plan goals definitely does pose a threat to their future long-term goals and their plans as well. And they learn not to underestimate them and never take them lightly. And they also learn to never repeat the same mistakes and the same failings. Due to their long gravity and due to them being very immortal, they believe that they're destined to become the sole queens of the cosmos, of the magic cosmos, and of the rest of the known universe, and are willing to fight and wipe out the Formation Hunters. They were previously powerful associates of the original or Lord of Magic, which they mercilessly began actually working for and serving for by providing him forbidden knowledge and powers and secrets of ice, dark magic, and abilities in order for him to access those powers so that he can become more powerful and more dangerous than ever before. Regardless of that, they still believed in him, and they always will ever believed in him. Even in the new Lord of Magic known as Lord Jet, they will also continue to believe in him as well, no matter what, because they always knew that these greater forces of evil will always remain true and loyal to their word. And despite that, they see a reflection of their former selves through them. They see the reflection of the original Lord of Magic's former self through them, despite them becoming the present evil forces even now. That's why they managed to regain their respect and their honor and their devotion as well through them. Despite this, they maintain their basis of operation as well as a central headquarters, which is a powerful dark crystal temple and using other worlds and planets and civilization as a basis of operation for them to actually operate in full secrecy, for them to discuss their plans and their operation and all of that. And they're very good in forming powerful strategic alliances with other powerful super criminals and super villains, and also with a group of powerful, dark, formidable, immortal, ancient witches known as the Dark Sisters, who have also managed to form an alliance with the Ice Sisters to aid them on their respective conquest and respective missions. Despite that, their lineages, their origins, and their lineages traces back to the origins of the Dark Sisters and of the great Sacred Omega founders who are able to adapt the DNA and the great genetic DNA and the sequence of the genome of their supernatural powers and abilities, which grant them the power to evolve and to adapt very greatly strong and very greatly immortal and very greatly powerful, which the Ice Sisters are well aware of that. They have many, many ancient crystal ice temples and worlds and planets under their sole control, and they utilize its resources to further their goals and their objectivity. They also work in the shadows, concealing their true presence from the sacred universe and from the sacred world in order for them to further their plans and their own goal, and by forming strategic alliances with powerful super criminals and greater dark witches and warlocks who become their followers and their associates as well, in order for them to work together and combine their common interests and their common objectivity and their interests as well in the fear front of the sacred galactic war. They learned that the hard way that the Four Nation Hunters are a determined race of great superheroes and are willing to stop them from furthering their plans, and they've learned that they have to take a different approach at the way they actually do things in order to further their plans and their goals as well in the process. They're very skilled in dark magic and in all powers of dark arts, such as teleportation, opening portals, convergence, infusing themselves with unlimited power of shadow energy, the power of summoning, the power of resurrection, mind controlling, telekinesis, flight, and the telekinesis and flight, and the power of super speed, and the power of creating dark lightning energy and electricity, and the power of utilizing dark crystals and powers at will, and the power of controlling magical creatures and monsters, and the power of amplifying and evolving their powers in the greater, higher ability of discovering new forbidden powers and abilities, new dark forbidden powers and abilities in the process, which makes them exceptionally dangerous and very powerful and very, very extremely unique. They've also been granted the greatest power of hypnosis and the power of mind controlling and of hypnotizing anything or anyone that gets in their way. They are very skilled in manipulation and in deception, and a very ruthless, merciless group of powerful Ice Sisters of dark witches who are known to be a mysterious force of greater evil across the sacred universe and throughout sacred history, which the Four Nation Hunters have warned the universal heroes that they are powerful dark magical forces of evil that are highly more powerful and highly more primordial than during the time of the ancient sacred founders that ever lived. And due to this, the Ice Sisters are very genetically smart and are very genetically intelligent, very ambitious, very determined with their goals and with their mission, very impatient with their missions and with their goals, willing to wait for another century and for another time to pursue it, because they know that they have the time of the entire sacred universe to pursue their goals and their mission in a very different way. And due to this, they've been able to access the forbidden elemental dark magical elemental powers of wood, fire, water, earth, and air, wood, fire, water, earth, and air at will, in order, which grants them more powers and more dark abilities in the process, and they can infuse themselves with dark magical powers and abilities in the process, granting them more power and more mortal powers and more immortal abilities as well in the process. They are very ancient and very mysterious and a very dark, powerful, primordial force of evil, and the universal heroes learned that they mysteriously are ruthless and are very, very powerful and are very, very dangerous. The Ice Sisters are completely ruthless, are a powerful force of a greater force of are the greatest forces of evil of the sacred magic universe, and they're not meant to be underestimated. Very powerful, dangerous, and very ancient, and very, very, very merciless. They've conquered many other known worlds of magical worlds and planets and civilization throughout the sacred universe and throughout the entire sacred world, and throughout the known universe as well, which makes them legendary and very powerful and very dangerous. They are very well known to be respected by dark witches and dark mysterious magic users and other mysterious followers who greatly respect them for their work and for their expertise and for their experience as well. And due to their expertise, they share forbidden knowledge and talents and secrets to other powerful dark druids, witches, warlocks, powerful, mysterious wizards who are willing to also access the same knowledge and the same expertise that the Ice Sisters have managed to also access as well, which makes them extremely powerful. And the original Lord of Magic learned that the Ice Sisters have managed to gain more power and more experience during out the ancient times and during out the ancient ways. And the Ice Sisters have managed to find a way to access the power of manipulating shadows and darkness at will, due to them studying the mysterious origin of the King of Darkness, who also made a powerful deal with the ancient shadow witches during the ancient times when no one else didn't actually realize it. And they quietly viewed the King of Darkness as an actual great godlike mysterious monk and a deity who was meant to be known and who's meant to be respected and not meant to be crossed. And that is why they still remain loyal to the most powerful dark magical creatures and beings and to their respective goals and mission. And they'll always remain loyal to the ancient organizations of supervillains, the Order of the Five, the Order of the Five, the Order of Power, the founders, the founders, and the new Lord of Magic known as Lord Jet and Lord Clay, and the mysterious shadowy associates, or the mysterious shadowy, and then in the mysterious powerful shadowy of their associates as well, and the other ancient groups of super criminals and powerful ancient warriors of evil warlocks and druids and witches and faithful, very mysteriously loyal to the associate, and also the associates are very mysteriously loyal to them, which grants them influence, connections throughout the sacred universe and throughout the sacred world and throughout within the world of humanity as well. Despite that, the Ice Sisters never want to actually go to the solar system of humanity. They rather to actually prefer to fight the sacred galactic war within the sacred magic universe, and within the sacred magic universe by fighting the fairies and the witches on their home territory, where they can actually begin conquering many more worlds and many more civilization by helping evil lords, masters, powerful evil warlords and lords and masters and warlocks and dark druids and all of them to completing their goals, which could benefit them greatly in the process. And they know that the Four Nation Hunters are the greatest obstacle to their goals and to their sole objectivity, and are willing to stop them and are willing to wipe them out and to purposely remove them out of the way. But they learned now that they're very, very highly skilled, adaptable Four Nation Hunters due to the experience. They've learned to wait, to find a perfect time to attack and to strike in a most right, perfect moment. And they're very good at orchestrating and manipulating events behind the shadows of the sacred universe and of the sacred world and of the entire magic universe. Well, guys, that's it for today's episode. I'll actually see you tomorrow as well. Enjoy your day and have a blessed day and have a great week. I appreciate your support in viewing and subscribing my channel and my episode from TikTok and also from YouTube. Please continue to do so as well. Have a wonderful day, and may you stay safe and may you stay happy, and may God bless you and protect you. And for those of you who are subscribing and for those of you who are viewing, I'm grateful for your support. Keep doing so. Have a wonderful day and have a blessed day. Love you and take care. Bye. 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 Bye.